Hello and welcome to this episode of Let's Talk Shop with Russ. So, we've got a prisoner on the panel tonight. He's holding up his number. He's just got. I think we have to might have to go bail him out. So.
No, we leave him there.
Just leave him there. So anyway, but a plan for a good show tonight. I appreciate everybody being on here. I think we've lost one or two people. I don't know where they went, so hopefully they'll be back. So tonight's guest is Frank Howarth, and we're going to have him as the guest. And Frank, what we'll do is I got to do some announcements, and I'll go through the line. Everybody introduce themselves, and you introduce yourself last because you're the guest. So. Let's start off with, I hope that Mike Merksky gets back on here because I've seen him, I don't know why he left or whatever, but I hope he gets back on here because he had something I want him to talk about. But, oh, there he is. You're back.
Yep, I had some technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. You're back. So, I'll tell you what, we'll just go to you first then. Are you ready? Can you?
Yep.
Okay. Mike has a little announcement about the Falcon Children's Home. They're doing, trying to do some stuff to generate some money for it, so I'll just turn it over to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Mike Merksky Custom Woodworking. Yeah, I'm helping out John DeGreeve. He's been trying to put together a shop class for the Falcon Children's Home, which is a non-profit kind of orphanage, and they also do have a K through 12 school for the kids that go there, and just trying to put together a wood shop. And we're also adding to that, and also trying to raise some money for a laser engraver and a 3D printer. And trying to add some of the kind of the modern technologies, I guess, that you would see in a shop class, and you know, hopefully give these kids, you know, some lessons, you know, that might help prepare them for life. So we've started a GoFundMe account to try to raise some money for that. So.
Very good. So what's the GoFundMe account under Falcon Children's Home?
I think it's. I'd have to look. I can send you a link though to it.
Okay. If he'll send me the link, and to those who are listening, this is a really good thing. I would really like for us to everybody out there to get involved. I would really appreciate that. If you don't, I mean, $5 or $10, whatever you've got to give. But this is really great. He will send me the link, and I will put it in the information after the show down there, so you can follow it to the GoFundMe page. Really good thing to get involved with. A lot of people, I don't think, realize how, I mean, I was blessed with a mother and father who raised me and cared very much about me, and some of these kids don't have that. So I would really like to say that if you got it, if you can help in any way, just let's support this. So great cause. And go ahead and tell us where we can find you, Mike, since you're on here. Good.
You can find all of my links to all my social media at merkskycustomwoodworking.com. Most active on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, great. And then Donald, you had you know something about Lynn Lacey's doing a pin swap or something, ain't he? Do you?
Yeah, he just launched it. I believe it was Thursday. He launched a video. You can find him by searching YouTube LL Woodworks and the videos in his videos there. You just turn up. You let him know there in the video that you're interested. Send him an email. He's got an email under his description there, and with your address. It's not going out to anybody except the person you're swapping pins with. And you'll swap pins, do a video to build, and a video of getting everything. You can find out all the information on his video there.
Yeah, I think he's under Lynn Lacey.
Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn
I found
Lacey.
it by looking for LL Woodwork. So
Yeah, so if you'll, it's what he's wanting to do, from my understanding too, is it's not really a challenge or anything. It's just you make a pin, and then he's going to collect the names, and he'll just pull the name out at random and send you their address, and you just, it's a pin swap.
yeah.
That everybody get together and doing pin swap. So, but the way I found it was looking for Lynn Lacey, LYNN LACEY, over on YouTube. So.
Yep. Like I say, it's just a good way. If you turn pins or whatever, it's a good way to get to meet each other. Maybe some pin turners you haven't met before. And, you know,
Great.
I think it's going to be pretty fun.
And tell us where we can find you, Donald.
My channel, I'm Donald Matthews. My channel's name is Donald Vlogifies Woodshop. I've got a website called redneckknowhow.com, and all my Twitter and Facebook links are there on my YouTube channel.
Great. And then next is we'll go to Chris Ahern.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Chris Ahern. You'll find me on Facebook at the Old Cranky Workshop and on YouTube under Chris the Wheeler. And if you don't find me there, lately it seems I've been on the road between here and Nashville. So, but I do a little bit from woodworking, from small furniture to working on the house to a little of everything. So,
great. And Mr. Dave Gatton.
Thank you, Russ. My name's Dave Gatton. You can find me on YouTube under Dave Gatton, as well as Facebook, Twitter, and a little Instagram occasionally.
And then we'll move over to, I was going to sing the song for you tonight, John, like a virgin for the very first time.
Well, thank you, Mr. Clarity. My name is John Schaffner, and I now have a YouTube channel. I put up my introduction video today. Thank you very much to everybody who's already seen it and subscribed, liked, shared, comment, whatever. I do appreciate it. I'm hoping to get some videos up on a semi-regular basis and share my experiences with all you clowns out there.
Great. We're glad to have you too, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then we'll go Russ Meadows. He's having a little problems tonight getting on, and he's having some storms in his area, so he didn't know if he was even ever going to be able to get on, and he was on, but now he's disappeared, so hopefully he'll come back. And we'll go over to Shane and Shelley then.
Hi, everybody. Mom here, or known as Shelley Cole. My channel is Know What Mom Knows. And over on the chat side, Donna Presley had asked how my Dremel is working out. I just got a new Dremel 4000 for Mother's Day, and it's going well. In fact, I've been even working on some inlays. So I hope to do a video in the near future where I show how I can create inlays with sawdust.
Ooh. And I'm Shane. I'm with Shane's Hobby Shop. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the social medias under Shane's Hobby Shop.
Great. Sounds good. And then we're going to go. Thank you, everybody, for being over there. We've got Tommy G over there. Donna Presley, Moon Pie Creations, Jim Bashirs, all of them over there in the chat. We thank y'all very much for being over the chat. And so now to the man of the hour, so to speak, Mr. Frank Howarth. How you doing?
Good. Hi.
Go ahead.
I'm Frank.
You know, I've only, and this is kind of sad for me, I've only started watching your videos recently because, to be honest with you, I haven't been on YouTube in a little over a year myself. So, but man, you've got some fantastic videos out there, man.
Thanks.
So I'm very interested also into your cinematographics, your video, and about how you do some of that stuff.
Right. Should I go through my camera equipment? mean, that's kind of what it sounded like.
Yeah, if you want to show us what kind of some of the stuff you use, because I mean your stop motion. We talked a little bit when we were in Atlanta. Your stop motion is just fantastic. So yeah, if you want to talk a little bit about what you use.
Okay. My main camera is my Canon 5D, which I use a lot. And it works well both for the video and for the stills for doing the stop motion stuff.
Now, does that shoot at 30 or 50 or 60 frames per second?
30.
30. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think even at a lower resolution it goes any higher than that. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's pretty much what I shoot at. And then I use my phone for some stuff. And then my GoPro. It's sitting on the. Up, if you can see it.
Yeah, yeah. So what got you into? I know you do a lot of woodworking and everything, but what broke you out of woodworking into getting into stop motion and doing all the video stuff that you do?
I've done some video and stop motion stuff kind of as a hobby, similar to the woodworking before it kind of all came together into a channel. And then at work, I was trained and worked for about 15 years as an architect, and in that I kind of slowly drifted towards doing the computer rendering stuff, so sort of making the pretty pictures, for everything, and that some of that was video work. So I learned a little bit at work. I've never worked at a video production place or anything like that, but I sort of learned enough through work to then be able to continue that on my own, kind of build it into something.
Okay, so then what got you into woodworking?
I've been doing that, it seems like, forever. And I think like a lot of people, you go to like a furniture store, and when you're young and you look at stuff and it just seems really expensive. It's like, that bookshelf or that chair, I could build that, for a lot less. So you start getting tools and you start building stuff, and I think that's some of what got me into it. I guess also I bought a sort of a fixer house in '99, and that kind of forced me to build a shop in the basement and start redoing that house, which was sort of half construction, half fine woodworking kind of stuff.
So do you pretty well now work for yourself? I mean, you're self-employed, or?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not making a huge amount of money at this point, but it's fun.
Well, that's the biggest thing. As long as you're happy, anytime you're happy in what you do, that's a big plus right there.
Right.
So that's great. Then let's. I know you have that rolling frame. What do you call that? The rolling thing for the camera behind you?
Kind of a track, a camera track, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah. What in the world made? I mean, where did you come up with that idea? That's great.
Well, I mean, I wanted to do a panning shot with a time lapse. Because it kind of gives that sort of fluid spatial feel to the shot. You get the stuff going on, and it's kind of frenetic and sped up, but then the camera's got this really even kind of movement to it, and it's.
Oh, I know. That attracted me big time, and I watched a couple of the videos when you used it, and I was like, that is awesome.
Although recently I've been putting the camera on the CNC and then moving that really slowly. So this track I've not used as much, recently.
Cool.
And it was really kind of hacked together, just enough where it could work, and it isn't any better than that.
Yeah, I know. This is kind of like a woodworking show, so to speak, but I'm intrigued by the track, and we'll get over to the woodworking in a minute. So,
right.
Can you kind of like explain to us? I can see it behind you how you made it.
Well, it's 2x4s with then some black pipe on top of it, and then the cart is just old rollerblade wheels screwed to some more black pipe, and then that just makes the the wheels can move.
Right.
And it doesn't even fit. No, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it just tracks. The wheels are set at such an angle it tracks on the pipe.
Right.
How do you get the consistency of the motion and pulling?
So I made a little box. Here, I'll get that.
See, now, this is where it comes in between the camera and everything that he has it developed and everything, and I wanted you to see this mechanism because I saw it before. This is where the woodworking aspect comes in.
So it's just a box with a gear on it, and then a little motor, the little gear, and then the big gear goes to just a string that winds up the string, and then the string will pull the little camera cart.
That's cool.
So it's really simple, and I got a speed controller so I can change the speed of the motor. So. But it's not set to anything. Like there's no guide on this that tells me how fast it's going to move, so it's all kind of guesswork. I have to kind of just guess whether the camera will move across most of the track during the time that I do the thing that I'm doing. So it's kind of it's just kind of all by feel, I guess.
Right. Kind of like a shot in the dark, Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
That's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, pretty. Anybody got any questions on the panel?
I don't know. You put another one with that, and y'all can have races.
I was going to say, I mean, that goes along with all my woodworking, a shot in the dark.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know, Frank, how do you like your new chainsaw? I don't know. I didn't know you had a new chainsaw.
Yeah, it works a lot better than the old one.
Yeah, Patrick over there from Patrick's Workshop wanted to know.
And it's mostly that it starts on the first pull, which is really nice.
Trust me. I bought, not trying to deviate from you, but I bought a little electric chainsaw to do little pruning and stuff around the yard and everything.
Right.
Oh, I fell in love with that. No longer have to worry about pulling on that thing and then taking it to the shop and then getting it fixed and bringing it back home, and then next year take it back to the shop.
Yeah.
Well, Frank, I have a question.
Sure.
With all your special pictures or video that you do, with all the slow motions and making things move around, is that all done in editing, or do you literally set up each shot that you do and put them all together?
What do you? I mean, I'll do each scene as a take with a bunch of stills.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I don't think she understands about stop motion. In other words, so
yeah, I guess not.
Explain the stop motion to her.
So I have I have a trigger release for the camera that lets me take pictures without touching the camera, so the camera doesn't move at all. And so I'll shoot a scene, and I'll take a photo and then move whatever it is a little tiny bit, and then take a photo and move whatever it is, and do that, and get a bunch of stills, and then once I have that, I can bring that into the computer, and I can bring that in so that the computer sees it as a little clip. So I don't have to, by hand put all those stills together. It's just kind of done. So it then works just like a little video clip, and I can stretch it and compress it if I need to, or and put sound with it. So it's
thank you. That makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's time consuming, but I think it's not as time consuming as it might seem. I think, and that's some of it too. I've been doing it so much that I have the process down pretty well.
So when I was talking to you up in Atlanta one time, I know a normal camera shoots at like 30, well, like we just talked about, 30 frames per second. But you told me when you do this stop motion, there was a lot more frames per second.
No, it's actually less. I do 15 frames a second.
Okay, so when you take the pictures, instead of 30 frames per second, it ends up being 15 frames per second.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
Actually, the clip that comes in is at 30 frames a second because that's what the video is. But then I usually slow it down by 50%, so it becomes 15 frames a second.
Still, though, at 15 frames per second times 60 seconds, that's a lot. Yeah, I'm pulling up my calculator right now. Hold on just one second. Anybody got their calculator? A little more?
For that little clip that I did one time, it's a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
That's 900 frames a minute.
900 frames a minute. Thank you, John. Wow. That's astronomical.
Now, you learn pretty quick that you can use stills like as a pause, like stretch them out, and you can run stuff forward and backwards. You can slow stuff down. You can reuse. You find yourself reusing stuff, or if you've got an image, you can do one scene as one crop of that image, and then a different scene is like a different crop of that image. So you get more out of it than just one shot per frame kind of thing.
Right.
So when you got your tools actually moving around on your table saw, about how many pictures are you taking just to have that work like that?
I mean, it's 15 frames a second, basically. I mean.
Yeah. So.
But like the clamp walking is maybe 7 to 10 frames per stride, I guess. It's not too bad. But yeah, when it has to walk a distance and you're doing that over and over again, it starts to take a little while.
Yeah.
So you probably spending like hours and hours on your computer just editing everything then.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the biggest thing is the sound, bringing the sound in to to make that work.
Wow.
Yeah, I can imagine that'd be hard.
Wow.
But you are good. I enjoy
Very
watching
good.
them.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, I've watched several of your videos, and like I said, it's I'm just getting in myself. I've only been doing this for a little over a year, as far as on YouTube, so I'm beginning to see people and go to people and watch some of the people's videos. And I stumbled across your channel before I met you and started watching some of your videos, and I was just awed at the amount of what it took to do, because I know a little bit about stop motion photography or stop motion videos, and so they did it years ago in clay animation and everything.
Right.
So I know it's time consuming to do something like that. So,
Yeah.
wow. Now, how big? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that question over in the panel, in the chat room. Katie Dotson wants to know, what video editing program do you use, Frank?
I know you went and talked about it already, but she came in late, so.
I use a Premiere.
Adobe Premiere.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, which works pretty well. I mean, mostly because that's what I learned at work, so it made sense to use that.
Yeah, I've seen Adobe. I haven't owned it or whatever, but I've watched videos and stuff and people using it, and it's a very powerful program.
Right.
Frank, I've got the Adobe also, and I also came from GoPro.
Uh-huh.
And I'm having a hell of a time transitioning to using a new software.
Right.
Do you have any troubles? I know you get the GoPro. Do you have any trouble using the GoPro video footage in Adobe?
No, it's been fine.
Okay, so obviously
I do use the GoPro software to take the lens shape from the footage, so it looks flatter and looks more like regular video out of a video camera.
Right.
First, so but yeah, as far as using it, it's fine.
Okay, so I'm still on the learning curve then.
And we got another question for you, Frank, from Moon Pie Creations. Is it what you end up being the issue with your old chainsaw?
Oh. Yeah, I never really figured it out fully. I'm wondering if it was a vapor lock, because that's kind of what the symptoms were, where it would run for like 15 minutes really well, and then it just stops, kind of like it's getting too hot in there, and the carburetor was just quitting. Because once it would start and run, it would run fine, and it was a pain to start. And I talked to someone recently about those old saws and how they're just hard to start. That's just how they are.
Yeah, I have a problem with something like that, a few of mine, but it always ended up the problem was me smashing it down on the driveway until it busted apart.
So Frank, how many square foot is your shop?
Just a hair over 1,200 square feet.
Wow. That's almost like a mini warehouse or something, man.
Yeah.
Well, you want to give us a little? Can you swing the camera around and give us a little tour of your shop?
Sure. I know I've been meaning to do another shop tour. Let's see. So the door is over there.
That's almost enough room to put a second level up there.
Yeah. I thought about doing something like that, like a spot for a desk to do to do my editing and stuff out here. It's always a pain because all the camera stuff is in the house, and I'm always running back and forth to get different things. So the doors over there. I've got a bunch. The wood storage is back in the corner. it used to be over here next to the lathe, but when I built the CNC machine, I needed to clear out a space for all that, so it moved over to that. See if I can point that back corner over there. I got a new radial arm saw. I'm not sure if you can. My picture is so little here. Why don't I look back that way?
Is that a Powermatic table saw?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there. That's one of the few tools that I bought new.
Trust me, I know how that is. I've bought a few of my tools used.
Yeah. And then the sander that I need to build new tables for. Now I got another table saw a couple of weeks ago, which is kind of back behind the sander.
Maurice Perez wants to know, Frank, you got any brick pattern bowls in the future?
The thought I had after doing that bowl was to do rings that have a solid center, so so it's like a pie pattern, and then you use that to infill the holes in a bowl. Now, I think that pattern would look better, filling in the holes that that come out from knots and things like that. That was my thought on that, anyways.
Do you? How many segmented bowls have you ever tried to do?
I guess in my little file setup, I guess I'm up to number 25 right now.
Wow.
But that's over the last 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, but still, it's still a lot of bowls, and segmented bowls are like really hard to do.
Yeah. Although that's not just the segmented stuff. That's sort of everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether that's completely accurate. That's just the number that I'm up to, and
yeah. Man, that's a huge bandsaw behind you.
Yeah, that's the big bandsaw.
Yeah. What's the what is that? The throat depth? It's got to be at least a couple of feet.
36 inches.
Wow. Is that so? That's at least a 3/4 or 1 inch blade.
Yeah, that's a that's a 1 inch blade on there now.
Now that will do some resawing right there.
Yeah. It'll do 22 inches, I think, of height.
Wow.
I got some serious shop envy going on here.
Yeah. So
now, did you build your... I'm sorry, go ahead, Russ.
When you bring, I saw in a couple of videos where you brought in logs and stuff and come up with your chainsaw and everything, but that gantry that you made to bring in the rolling gantry, I will call it the gantry that has the chain and everything on it, you actually brought in some pretty good sized logs or whatever to do in your shop, right?
Right.
So that's the bandsaw you use to mill it down?
No, mostly I mill with a chainsaw.
Okay, then get it.
Really, it's like this will do like a huge size, but you can't lift something that big to put in it.
Okay.
So, but for doing like bowl blanks, so it's just like a big chunk of wood, but it isn't very long.
Right.
Will fit in this, and this is kind of good for that. So it might be something that's got a big diameter, but it's only as long as its diameter. So it is, so it only weighs 60 pounds instead of like 6,000 pounds.
Yeah. So in other words, a piece, 36 inches in diameter, 10 inches thick or something, you're going to turn a bowl out of.
Right.
Yeah. Shit. I got a 17-inch bandsaw from Harbor Freight. So, I mean, wow. That's great. Anybody else?
You got me beat, Russ. I got a 6-inch Shopsmith saw.
Yeah. That's a nice equipment. So, what do you mostly do work to sell out there, or is it just mostly just kind of like a hobby?
I've always meant to start selling things, but I never seem to get to that point.
Right.
But yes, at some point that's the plan, and
so
soon, hopefully.
So you just kind of like stockpile everything you make, and hopefully
right.
One day you'll have a sale. In other words.
Right. But cool. I mean, I've done a bunch of work for people. That's more sort of commission kind of stuff, I guess you'd call it. But I did some work for a restaurant maybe 2 years ago. And then I've done some stuff just recently, kind of smaller things, but
right.
Like a friend had a maple tabletop that he really liked, but it had warped just a little bit. So we threw it onto we threw it onto the CNC machine, and we flattened it out. Cool. So
what's the table size on your CNC machine?
8 by 4 is about what I can do. The table is close to 5 feet wide.
Wow.
But not quite. Which is a little bit of a pain because some stuff comes in 5-foot widths and it doesn't quite fit.
Right. So 8 foot long by almost 5 foot wide.
Yeah.
Dave, I think he's got you beat on the 4x4.
Yeah, he's got a monster machine.
Yeah. I like one of the segments that you did on one of the last bowls you turned. I see that you made the table at the end of your CNC machine where you could actually lower it or put it at different angles.
Right.
Incorporate. Yeah. What gave you that idea?
Well, the friend that I sort of built this machine from had sort of a wall at the back end of his machine where he could clamp things to, so that he could work on the ends of things. So but what he said to do was to make it so that you can change it just a little bit, because he built his, but it wasn't quite square, so it was always not quite right. So I took that another step and actually made it so that the whole table will move from zero to 90 degrees. But that means that you can mount the table at some random angle and then mill a bowl mounted to that surface.
Right.
Okay, we got you another question. Moon Pie Creations want to know how much do you want for your last bowl that you made? I want to see it.
Yeah, it's in the house, I think. Yeah. I know that's the thing too. It's like that's the other thing about selling stuff. I'm never sure what to price stuff at.
Yeah,
it's like if I take my time and kind of multiply it by that, then it should be like, you know, $2,000 or $3,000. But you know, that seems like a lot. But maybe that's not a lot. Maybe that's what it should be.
Anybody else have any questions out there for him?
Hey, Frank,
I just
go.
I just wanted to know if I could move into a shop. That's all.
Frank, you mentioned this came about because you bought an old house that needed work.
Yeah.
How old's your house? Because I'm in the same situation.
The one we're in now is built in 1954, I think.
Oh, it's a baby.
Yeah, so it's not too bad.
Ours is built we're 1867 here.
All right.
And it's in deeper trouble than we ever thought it was.
Yeah.
So, no, it's definitely promoted a lot of my woodworking too.
Yeah.
You need a tool to do certain things. You gotta go buy the tool.
Yeah.
So. Russell's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I had to do something there real quick. Well, I mean, that's actually fantastic. I mean, I think the most amazing thing that I saw is when you did that last bowl and you dropped that table down and then you used it to what was it, make inlays into the bowl.
Right.
I thought that's brilliant. I just thought that was brilliant.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that one bowl that you turned, that you brought the log in. I'm sorry I haven't watched more of your videos, but the one bowl that you turned that you brought the log in, you said you let it sit for almost a year or 6 months or something. There was a time period you let it sit, and then you turned it down.
Yeah, I'll turn a rough bowl, and then that can then dry for a while, like a year or more, and then once it's dry, I can then finish it.
Wow.
I mean, if you just take a big chunk of wood and let it dry, it'll take like a decade, and it'll crack. You know, because it's so thick. So if you kind of rough it down to a bowl shape where it's, you know, thinner, it'll then dry quicker.
And you won't have the cracking, in other words, that you normally have.
Yeah. I mean, you still can have it crack, but
yeah, I understand.
But it's less.
Yeah, you can still have it cracked, but it's actually not. Once you turn it down to a regular size, you have a better success of it not cracking than if you left it at that big thick chunk.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of a lot of people doing something like that. They turn them. There's several turners that are well known for making bowls, and that's what they do. They turn everything in real rough, leave the bowl fairly thick or whatever, put it in a room, let it sit in there, and then come back next year, take it out, and then turn it down to size.
I've seen where some people will turn down a chunk to a really thin, you know, to the final shape, and then finish it and let it dry, and then let it just kind of deform naturally as it dries out, and get kind of this sort of funky shaped finished bowl in one pass instead of two, basically.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't mind trying that at some point.
Yeah, I've heard, that's another thing that I've heard also is they do that exact same thing. They turn it down, and then if whatever it warps into, they call that, so to speak, you know, that's their artistic work.
Right,
you know?
right.
Which, I mean, in all sincerity, it's pretty amazing that somebody thought that out.
Right.
Frank, after you rough turn them and you put them up on your shelf, do you seal it with like Penacryl or any kind of a waxy?
Yeah.
That stuff is called. I know some guys put them in a paper bag with a bunch of wood shavings.
Right.
You know, and do it that way. I was just wondering what you preferred.
Yeah, I've always just done it with wax paint, but that's just how I've done it. It's not necessarily better than.
Well, now when you got you got that chunk of wood that you're going to be turning into a bowl. What is your main go-to tool that you like grabbing all the time? What is it?
My bowl gouge.
There's like that curved one that goes in, or what?
Here.
Can't hear you, Russ.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I turned my mic off. No, he's talking about a bowl gouge. It looks like a regular gouge, but it's a little thinner taper on the end. But it can be an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Go ahead, Frank.
So, yeah, I mean, it looks like that basically. And yeah, it's sort of thinner than a regular spindle gouge.
Yeah.
And it's kind of swept back. You know, the way it's ground. You know, so the sides don't catch on the on the surface of the bowl.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
What do you use to hollow out your bowls when you're actually turning them? What's your hollowing tool?
The same. I mean that tool.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people that do that kind of gouge on for all their bowl turning period, pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of like, if you ask me, it's kind of like old school, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. No. People have started using the carbide cutting tools more now, which I guess are more forgiving as far as catching on the wood.
Well, what kind of projects you got lined up? What kind is going to be coming up here shortly? What you got going on?
Right now I'm working on what started out as a microwave stand, but we've added a bunch of functions to it. Like it's going to have a drawer for our recycling box and a shredder, and then a tray for mail that comes into the house. So it'll
sound pretty cool.
So it'll sort of be a tower of stuff, of function.
It's going to sound pretty awesome. I'm excited to watch it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm trust me, now that I have stumbled across you and know a little bit more about you and met you in Atlanta, I've been trying to watch more of your videos as fast as I can, but the stuff that you have out there, I have to say, is phenomenal. You do a fantastic job. Somebody asked something back there, I forgot now. But when they're talking so quick over in the chat section, we can't, sometimes it moves. It can't. I think it was Ron the woodworker, Ron, whatever. He asked you a question, but it's gone by, so I can't see it now. Well, we're rocking down on here, down toward the end. Trying to think of anything else I need to bring up. Oh, I do know something I need to bring up real quick that I forgot in the very beginning, because I was so excited and having a Frank on and everything, so I'll do it now. I just need to do a shout out real quick about my sponsors. Devobel Technologies for web design, development, hosting. Visit devobel.com. Olivewood 2000. for beautiful, elegant Holy Land olive wood, go check out Olive Wood 2000 over on eBay. And FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworker, go to fastcap.com. They're all my sponsors, and I do appreciate them. And let me say this before we get off. Tonight is hope you caught it. It was on here. Tonight is the last word of the giveaway. I've already done it, so if you know what you got to do now is to send me an email with all 3 of those words to Russ at Simply Wooden Create, or no, it's contest at simplywoodencreations.com. Sorry about that. So send me an email over there to contest at simplywoodencreations.com for the website giveaway. And for anybody that's out there that's still listening and don't remember, we're giving away a free website. It's forever. It's about a $3,500 value. And so you take the 3 words that I've given out on the last 3 shows and send an email to me. If you will go to my website, simplywoodencreations.com, go across the menu bar over to a contest, click on that. It'll drop down and show you a giveaway. All the information is on there. And also I did a YouTube video about the giveaway. So go over to my channel, Simply Wooden Creations on YouTube, and watch the video, and all the information for the giveaway is there. But next Saturday night is going to be the contest giveaway. In other words, we're going to give away somebody a free website next Saturday night. The whole show is pretty dedicated to that. I think we might do a little bit of extras. We might do some shout-outs to some people on their websites. So anybody that's left on here on the panel, if y'all got somebody you want to think about, just do one this week. Think about you want to talk about somebody about their website. Go ahead and find a website this week, and because there's no way we're going to have a whole hour of a giveaway. It'll be as boring as all get out. So. But if all of y'all left out there, and I'll tell everybody else who's already left, Dave and everybody, about it. But find one person you'd like to talk about their video or their YouTube channel, and we'll do that next week along with the giveaway. So probably about the halfway through, we usually start about 8, so probably about 8:30 we'll start the giveaway. The first 30 minutes we'll dedicate to talking about everybody's YouTube channel. And I hope to, in the last 30 minutes, to find somebody out there, and they will get a brand spanking new or a makeover, either way, website. So that's pretty good. Frank, I got one more thing to go back to you on.
All right.
We have Woodshop's Confessions, where you have to confess at the last minute about something that you did in your woodshop that after you did it, you thought to yourself, man, that was about the most boneheaded thing I've ever done in my entire life. So do you have one of those moments in your woodshop?
Yes. So this new old table saw that I got about three weeks ago. It's one of these saws with a sliding table.
Yes.
So I got it and I picked it up, and it's been taken care of for like 100 years, and it's in really good shape. And I had it loaded into the truck, and it was all fine, and I had all this stuff I was worried about as far as, you know, tying it down and it was more weight than my truck really should be hauling. But I forgot to tie the table down, so it was pinned in place with the pin that you put in it in the shop to keep it from moving. But I didn't think of it any further than that. So about the third or fourth corner going home, I heard this huge crash behind me, and I look back in the street, and the table's sitting in the street. So I got and it's solid cast iron. So I dragged it out of the street. I don't know how. It's so heavy, and then someone stopped to help me put it back in the truck. But so the table is fine, but the stuff under the table that helps it move broke. So I've had to get that fixed, and I'm sort of slowly putting it back together again.
I'll be crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this thing was taken care of for so long, and then I had it for like 5 minutes, and I broke it. It's just.
I think we have a new winner.
Yeah, that's about the baddest that we've had so far. Yeah, it's definitely about the baddest we've had so far. So wow.
I'll take my cut finger over that any day.
Yeah.
Right, anybody can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I've learned. An old man that I knew for a few years and had worked for me for a while, he was always adamant about anything that we hauled, we strap it down real good. And I was always the one that was just, I'll throw it in the back of the truck, it'll make it. And he's like, no, let's put some extra ropes on it or whatever. And so now I see you could have used him to tell you that.
Yeah. I know, and it's like I'm being so careful and I'm so nervous about it, and then I still screw it up.
Yeah. All right, guys. Anybody else? Anything else? Have anything else we need to say or talk about? We're rocking down on time.
Mention your sponsors.
Yeah, I already did my sponsors.
Okay.
I did my sponsors, talked about them. Yeah, I forgot about them in the beginning because I was so excited about everything going on, so I forgot about them, but I mentioned them. But yeah, guys, don't forget about the website giveaway. Go to my YouTube channel, simplywoodencreations.com. Across the top, go to contest, click on giveaway, and there also is a video up on my website, or on my YouTube channel, Simply Wooden Creations, that will tell you everything you need to know about the website giveaway, because some lucky person out there is going to win either a website makeover or a complete website that doesn't have one. So really excited about this. Yes.
Did you mention a deadline for when to get the entries in? Or
yes, the deadline, you would have to ask me that, because what I'm going to have to do is go over here and open up my website to be able to tell you that.
Well, while you're doing that, Russ, there is one other question that I did forget about asking. I'm sorry about this, but from Malone Maid, he wants to ask Frank, how many hours did it take to start to finish on the bridge that you made with your son? That was a fantastic father-son project, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah, I think we spent about a week on it, and it wasn't full-time. I mean, it was kind of like after school, and so maybe 15 hours, 20 hours maybe? Something like that would be a guess. And it wasn't too bad.
Okay, so the end of the contest actually ends June 21st, 11:59 p.m. So that is actually Tuesday night. I'm looking at this right. Tuesday night, midnight, so to speak. So anything after midnight on Tuesday night will no longer be accepted. So you have the rest of the night tonight, Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday be able to send me an email with those 3 keywords in it and to take care of it. So that will give me plenty of time to get all the names that are entered and get them recorded and everything and ready for the giveaway, which is on Saturday. So, guys, I thank you very, very much for all of y'all who have been over there in the chat section. We've had a lot of people over there. Patrick from Patrick's Woodshop's been over there. Moonfly Creations again. Al Forte's been over there. A lot of Donna Presley. Katie's been over there. All y'all guys, I appreciate you very much for watching. Great time tonight. And just remember one thing. If women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. And with that being said, just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust, all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody, and God bless.
Bye, folks.
Good night, y'all. Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
Night night.